Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. I am back in the office this week after many weeks on the road, so it's nice to be back in the office. I want to say a quick get well soon to Sarah, Sarah's been my sidekick on the Mayor's Corner since the beginning, Sarah Blackstone. So Sarah, I hope you are getting better, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So there's a ton going on in Newburyport. It's finally fall here, right? And it's a beautiful day out there today. We've had a lot going on, so let's just jump right in. So last Sunday we had the Genie Geiger walk against domestic violence, and they do this event every year. It's really just a wonderful event, and the weather was kind of shaky on Sunday, right? I don't know if you remember, but it was incredibly windy and it was so cool down by the water. But they had a great turnout. So I mean, I was happy to be there. Mayor Gove and I from Amesbury spoke. We read a proclamation against domestic violence, officially naming October against Domestic Violence Month. And so for this walk every year, they really do incredibly well. So they raised close to $90,000, which is just an incredible fundraiser for them. So hats off to the Genie Geiger Crisis Center for all they do. And also I want to give hats off to my City Hall team. We actually formed a City Hall team this year, and we had some city councilors join us, so we had a nice turnout, and a couple of my kids came as well, but we had a really nice walk around Newburyport, even though the weather was a little windy and cool. Monday night, we had our school safety forum that took place up at the Senior Center. And this was actually my idea. I was getting a lot of inquiries at the beginning of the school year about school safety in general. So I thought, a few years back we did this on the school committee where we had a public forum, and we had the police come in, and we had the school leaders come in, and then we had the public come in to ask questions, and it was really a great conversation. So I wanted to kind of mimic that a little bit. So Monday night, Superintendent Geiger put on a presentation around school safety. I thought he really framed the conversation really well about all that we're doing in our district here in Newburyport to keep our kids safe. That's our number one priority. I have 3 kids in the school district, so it's my number one priority, is keeping our kids safe. And so it was great hearing all that information and hearing all we do on a day-to-day basis to keep our kids safe. We also had Sergeant Whitney of the police department and our school resource officer, Officer McElroy, there as well, who had their own part of the presentation. They answered some questions. We had some people in the audience that came to hear it, which was great. And asked some questions, and we had some people actually write in some of their questions. So the whole thing took a little less than an hour, which was just the perfect amount of time to really hit all the things that we wanted to hit. And I think moving forward, if you missed the forum, you can go onto the Newburyport Schools website. That's newburyport.k12.ma.us. And that presentation you'll find up there. So you'll see the PowerPoint slides that the superintendent used. But you can also find the recording of this forum as well, because we did record it. You can go back and watch it. But it was just a lot of good information about what we're doing to keep our kids safe in schools each and every day. So thank you to the Superintendent Geiger and his staff for doing that for us. Some other school committee news. We actually have an opening on the school committee. So school committee member Sheila Spalding resigned a couple Fridays ago. So we have officially opened up a search for a new school committee member. So when this happens in between a term, and I know from experience, because this is how I originally got on the school committee about 5 years ago, but we have a joint meeting of the school committee and the city council, right? So all 11 members of the school committee and all 7 members of the city council get together for a joint meeting. It's almost like a job interview, right? So right now we're collecting resumes and cover letters of interest from people who want to serve out the rest of committee member Spalding's term. And that term runs until December 2023. So it's a little over a year left to serve. So it's a great opportunity if you've ever been interested in the school committee to kind of get your feet wet. Again, you don't have to fulfill the whole 4-year term. It's just a little over 12 months that you'll have to serve in the school committee. And then you can decide next year whether you would like to run again or not as well. Like I said, this is how I originally got on the school committee. I was filling somebody's term. And it's like a job interview. So you'll come in and you'll have a little 5-minute opportunity to say something about yourself, and then you'll answer questions from the city council and the school committee. So it's a wonderful opportunity to get involved. And again, for me, this was my perfect opportunity to get involved more so in city government, and it kind of led me to the mayor's office, which again, I'm loving every minute of. But I will say just a couple things about Sheila Spalding. She was a wonderful member of the school committee. Again, I got on in that joint election, but then I had to run 2 years after that, and then so she She was with me the same year I ran. She was just brought a lot to the school committee. She had kids in the district. She jumped right on board with the policy subcommittee and did a really great job looking at our policies. She's an incredible writer and kind of editor by trade, so she brought a lot of those skills to the school committee. So I just want to say, Sheila, thank you for all the time that you gave the city of Newport. Thank you for serving, and again, good luck in all your future endeavors. But we really enjoyed having you on the school committee these past few years. What else is going on in the city? So the Plum Island dredge is just about to start, okay? And we've been talking about this for a long time. And if you remember, the dredge was supposed to happen last year. We only got one bid, so it got canceled. So this year we came back. We were able to get 2 qualifying bids, and now we're moving forward with H&L Contracting. And they are beginning to set up now. So they are setting up their staging in the Point parking lot area up on Plum Island. As I mentioned before, we're going to work around, so we don't want to impact the neighbors or the dunes, right, by going through the neighborhoods on Reservation Terrace to lay the piping and the work that needs to be done for the dredge. So we're actually going around along the water at Plum Island Point. So they're starting to put the piping and staging together for this. You'll see signage all over town. We're gonna have 2 electronic signs, one at the parking lot down at the point. We're gonna have one driving out to Plum Island. That should be in place by end of day next Friday, hopefully sooner. But we'll have those in place. If you go on our website right now, we've already created a separate page strictly around the dredge for information. And a lot of these things are things that we talked about at the MRBA meeting a few weeks ago. But we really want to make sure that all the correct information is out there, because really once this dredge starts, the beach is going to be shut down in Newburyport for safety reasons. We're dumping 250,000 cubic yards of sand back on the beach, okay? Weather permitting, we're going to shoot right through and hopefully be done in early winter. But we're really excited about this. This should give the residents at Reservation Terrace a little peace of mind. It's going to bring that beach back, and then once we finish this project, then we go into plan, the next part of the next phase of that plan, which will be, working with the Army Corps of Engineers on a study to determine the best path forward into working with that jetty. Most likely, it's going to be putting some sort of spur on that jetty, so this pattern of water circulating and taking sand away from the beach there can be stopped. So. Again, 2 parts here, but this dredge is a big, huge part that we're going to get going here in the next couple days, so I'm really thankful for that. So if you have any questions, please reach out to my office, but again, go on the website. We've put all the information there. There are graphics there, there are pictures, there are places where that you're going to have no access to the beach, and there's also contact information on there about who you should be reaching out to, because we do have a contact person with the Army Corps of Engineers who's doing the work. So that would be your first bet, and then you can also reach out to hear us at City Hall too. We'll point in the right direction. So we're excited about that dredge to get started. Let's talk about the Parks Reorg plan. I mentioned this last week that I decided to pull the Parks plan before it got voted on by City Council. At the end of the day, I just thought it was going to be too close of a vote, and I thought this shouldn't be a close vote. This should be something that we should be able to get all city councilors on board with. So we're going to continue through the month of October here to have some conversations with stakeholders, right? So we're doing a lot of work with the Parks Commission around visioning for our parks, okay? We're doing a lot of work around creating this Friends of Newburyport Parks group, and they're well on their way. We've got just a wonderful group that has already stepped forward to be a part of this effort, and I just want to have a shout out to Andrea Eigerman, who's kind of leading the charge of putting together roles and mission statement and what that organization is going to look like. So again, we want to move that forward. So that's going to be coming soon enough, but again, we're really excited about that plan, and we look forward to sharing it with everybody. We've started the fall hydrant flushing schedule. So again, the brown water is back. I had it at my house yesterday, so just be aware of that. We're posting every day what part of the city we're flushing the hydrants at. A lot of people are probably wondering, how are we flushing hydrants when we're in a water restriction time period? Well, again, our capacity of our reservoirs are at such a state right now that we feel comfortable doing that. We're not pulling the water restrictions yet, so you can still water in the morning and at night if you're still watering your lawn. We have been getting a lot of rain, which is good too, but we're going to keep those restrictions in place until we get an update from the state. But again, just keep an eye out on our social media and our website for where we're flushing the hydrants, because you will see that brown water very quickly. Mine's already gone at the house, but we did have it, and then it flushes itself out a little bit. We're still looking for applications for our Pride Board. This is something I talked about a few weeks ago, so we're putting this is a little subset group of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Alliance, the DEI Alliance. So this Pride Board is going to be a little subset of that, and it's going to help us planning events in town. It's going to help us give a voice to some LGBTQ issues here in Newburyport. So I'm really excited about this. We've had a few applicants already, but we could use some more. So again, just send a letter of interest in your email to the mayor's office, and you can email that to mayor@cityofnewburyport.com. But we're really excited about that, and we're hoping we can hear from a few more folks out there in the community. We've got some brand new tennis courts at the Rupert A. Knock Middle School. We're going to do an event in a week or so, so I'll keep you posted on that. But if you haven't seen them yet, go down and check them out. There are 2 beautiful full-size tennis courts, and I know they're already getting some good use. So go down there. Hats off to Steve Berkholm, who's our facilities manager for our schools. He headed up the project management of that project, and again, went off without a hitch, and they're just 2 beautiful tennis courts down there. So thank you, Steve and his crew. We have actually had some other good moves up at the schools this week. Newburyport High School, for the second time, was awarded the Boston Globe Dalton Award, and that just means that we are the most successful athletic program in the state, and this is our second time we've won this award. So hats off to all the incredible coaches and athletes. Hats off to the parents that bring in their kids to these practices and going and cheering them on in the games. We've really set up a great athletic culture here in Newburyport. I would say just look at the Newburyport News this week. You'll see that we are ranked pretty high in just about every fall sport that you can think of. And so that's a hats off to all the hard work going on out there. And if you haven't gone out and checked out any of these sports yet, field hockey, soccer, my daughter's playing volleyball, which is great. Volleyball, they're ranked right now in Division III, #1 in the state, which is pretty cool. Football, Friday night we got a game that I'll be going to with the family. But there's so many great opportunities. Cross country, we have 2 state championship caliber cross country teams, and golf is currently right behind Triton in 2nd place. So we've got a lot of great things going on this fall with sports. But if you're looking for something to do, get out and support our student athletes. They're doing a really tremendous job. And finally, there's just 2 things going on this weekend that I wanted to highlight. First, on Saturday, October 8th, 10 to 3, down at the Waterfront Park, we're having Indigenous Peoples Day observance, and it's just a big ceremony that's going to be happening down there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to say a few words at the beginning, but there's going to be, dancing and stories and music, and you're going to hear the drums, and you're going to hear some songs, and there's going to be activities for kids. So it's just a fun, family-friendly event that's going to be happening down there on the waterfront. So hopefully the weather will be great for them. We did a little flag raising here on Sunday as well to kind of kick off Indigenous Peoples Day. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's down at Waterfront Park on Saturday. And the last thing I wanted to mention was the annual Celebration of Hope. That's happening here on Sunday, October 9th. This is hosted by the Pelican Intervention Fund. And that's happening here at City Hall from 1 to 3. Okay, so again, if you've got nothing to do this weekend and you're looking to get out and get involved with a couple of great events, there's 2 of them right there that you can come and take part of. So I wish them luck on both those events, and I can't wait to be there with them. And that's my Mayor's Corner this week. I guess I'll give you a little teaser for next week. So next week we'll be back out on the field. We're going to do a special Halloween edition of the Mayor's Corner. We're going to be down at the Gates of Hell. And if you don't know what the Gates of Hell is, you probably didn't grow up in Newburyport. But if you did grow up in Newburyport, you know that the Gates of Hell are down at Maudsley State Park. So we're going to be down there. We're going to have a lot of the whole episode next week is going to be about events going on for Halloween and different things going on in the city. So I hope you can tune in. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next time on the Mayor's Corner.